What's going on, everybody? You gotta check it out. Barry walking around in broad daylight in that future Flash costume. We had to freak out about this. There's a couple big questions. I know a lot of you were like, maybe we see a little bit of him in the trailer, but it was so hard to tell. I was like, okay, we'll wait for more footage to confirm it. This officially confirms it. This is about as close as you can get to confirmation. What better time to give away a new Flash ring? All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber, leave a comment on this video. Grant Gustin even posted this video of him waving at fans like, hey, how's it going, everybody? Check out the new threads. Right off the bat, there are a couple big questions like, when did he get this? Does he have new Speed Force powers if he manifested this in the Speed Force? Like, based on the timeline of episode 1, they wouldn't have time to fabricate a completely new costume in one that Cisco never saw. Like, Cisco would have had to seen a picture of the future Flash suit so that he could build it himself. So until we get some more footage, it sounds like they just bring him out of the Speed Force and he looks like this. Like, he just comes out looking like the future Flash. Now, it's hard to tell if this is the exact same costume or if they tweaked it a little bit because of the really crap way that they color corrected episode 19 last season. This was that scene where they debuted that suit.
Thought it was about time I did something. Cisco made it. Now her powers won't affect us. We can go anywhere he does. Well, the odds seem pretty even now, huh?
So as you can tell, the way they color corrected the episode made it look a little different shade of red. This is what it looks like in the cold light of day. It looks much better when they're not trying to drain the color out of the episode to let people that don't watch The Flash know that they're in a different timeline. If you ever wonder why they do that weird sepia tone thing when they go to Earth 2, or why they drained all the color out every time they went to the future during season 3, it's one of those old TV tricks that all shows pull to let casual viewers know that you're in a different reality. And it makes the show look worse, like they literally shoot it to look very beautiful. The costume looks great under normal coloring, but then they go to this other time period, they drain all the color out, and you're like, what happened? Based on the comments that Grant Gustin has been making about the time that Barry spent in the Speed Force, how he's coming out, not really knowing what's going on, he's going to be a different version of Barry for a little while. Like, he'll have a little bit of amnesia. He won't immediately remember everything that happened in the moments that he left last season. He's lived several lifetimes, so I guess that's a way to justify him wearing that future Flash costume, because that's from 8 years in his future. He said that they're not going to show you what happened while he was in the Speed Force. They'll just address it in an ethereal way to help him become this more mature version of the Flash through the course of season 4. They kind of did this thing back during season 2 where he goes into the Speed Force, it shreds his costume, like they literally have his version of the costume here that they use to try and find him again. He becomes pure energy, has that adventure where he talks to the Speed Force wormhole alien that looks like his mother, then realizes that he never really lost his powers to begin with, and the camera sort of turns around and he's all of a sudden wearing the Flash costume, steps out of the Speed Force wearing it too. So I'm not really expecting them to address the logic of it because they didn't do that during season 2, so there's no reason to assume that they're going to suddenly explain how this all works during season 4. But in the comics, he is able to manifest his costume directly out of the Speed Force. It's this nexus of pure energy, time, and space, so the more powerful he gets, the more he can manipulate it. It sounds like he's just going to get a little bit more powerful this season. But what about the Flash ring? You're saying, if he's more powerful, wouldn't he start using the Flash ring too? New costume, new way of putting the costume on? The only reason why I'm not expecting that right away is just because it's expensive to do that special effect. In TV shows, budgets tend to go down over time, so they try to find easy ways to get him into that costume. So like there's a big crime happening, Barry's looking at his costume, says, I need to go help these people out. They do that really blurry effect where they disappear the costume and he runs out the door and he's just in it when he gets to the crime scene. You don't really see it from Barry's perspective, like you don't see him pull the costume on one leg at a time. It'd be like watching Oliver put his costume on. It'd just be kind of excruciating after you see it once or twice. But the other big question is that now that Barry's coming back and we know that Wally's going to be in his old costume at some point during season 1, what are they going to do with that old costume? Is Wally going to keep wearing it? because Kenyon Lonsdale, just right before Comic-Con, had his mom on set. He was wearing the yellow version of the costume again after they had finished filming scenes with him in the red costume. So until we see more behind the scenes from what it looks like is episode 3, which I think they're filming right now, we'll just assume that he's going to go back to the yellow costume. And part of what I'm wondering is if they're going to slowly start making the idea of the Flash Museum. We probably won't get to it for a little while, but we have the Star Labs Museum, so maybe they'll put the costume in that old museum. They've actually been using the museum as a big plot point in the comics the last couple of issues. There's been all this Reverse Flash stuff going on, and I know you're all still wondering, what's going on with him? They didn't really explain at Comic-Con what they're going to do with the character. He always comes back. Flash Reborn, Reverse Flash Reborn at some point too. One of the most fun things about The Flash is the TV show just doing something without explaining it, like pulling him out of the Speed Force in this costume, or just bringing the Reverse Flash back and not explaining the logic behind it, and then just leaving that for us, the fans, to try and figure it out. There'll be a lot more behind the scenes, like they're filming episode 3 right now. By the time they get to the episode 1 premiere, they'll be filming that 4-night crossover, but it'll probably be September before we see a legit episode 1 trailer. But leave all your bonus video requests in the comments below. I know there's Young Justice to do, so that'll probably be my next video. There's still a lot of Comic-Con stuff to do. Young Justice Season 3 coming next year. But congratulations to the latest giveaway winner, the Golden Gamer. Please private message me on the back end of my channel so I can get your contact details. While you wait for everything, you can click here to watch my Infinity War trailer video and learn all about the Skrulls, Captain Marvel, and you can click here to rewatch the Justice League trailer. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.